Once again, we're happy to be with you. You are at the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Happy New Year. Hope you had a happy, safe one. Happy, safe holiday season all around. Well, it's time to jump back into it now and talk about current events. And hopefully this year we'll be bringing you some visitation type shows where we're out on the road, taking road trips. I was thinking about something that we did a show on earlier this year, or late last year, excuse me, about this new AB 60 law here in California, or bill, about giving these illegal people driver's licenses. Well, when I first did it, yeah, it was a big thing and everybody was up in arms. But it didn't really hit home until the 2nd of January, when there were all these long lines and all this confusion and all this chaos. And I thought to myself, I said, this is really ridiculous. We have totally lost control of this country. And here's the reason. The DMV in all its imminent glory, while I guess planning this out with the stupid muckety-muck politicians, didn't think about what an impact it would have on the day-to-day operations of this agency. It's just like just a total throw-in, just a big lump of people coming there to take care of business, with the vast majority of them now being these illegal creeps, getting licenses. Case in point, this girl who had just become of age to start learning how to drive went there to get her learner's permit. Took the girl 10 hours to get that permit. Another gentleman went there to get his car registered. He got there early in the morning, stayed there all day. The place closed on him and he still didn't get his business taken care of. He had alluded to the fact that he was going to go to a check cashing place, or one of these places that allow you to do auto registrations, and they charge you an extra fee, but you can get it done there. This is lunacy, people. At least these idiots at the DMV, the higher ups, could have thought, well, yeah, there's going to be this deluge of people coming in. Let's dedicate at least one line or 2 lines, 3 lines. If you've ever been to the DMV, you know they're hokey pokey people. They may have 12 windows, but I'll be flat damned if only 3 of them or 4 of them are working. Anyway, at least dedicate 1 line just to these people alone, so that we don't screw up the day-to-day operations for regular customers coming in to take care of their business. It's not fair to have someone who is a citizen, a legal citizen of this country, go in to conduct DMV business and stand in line for upwards of 6, 10, 12 hours, or however long they stay open, and then have the door closed in your face so that you can service some lawbreakers, some people that shouldn't even be here in the first place. I mean, what are we thinking? This is crazy. As I've alluded to so many times, if you break the law and then you get rewarded for it, then why can't I go out there and rob a liquor store and then go up to the Beverly Hills Rolls Royce dealer and say, okay, give me a Rolls Royce Phantom or a Ghost. If that's the case, then we should be getting what we want. Lawbreakers seem to get what they want. Very bad tone in this country, folks. And that leads me to the meat and potatoes of the show here. We're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, if you think about it. One, we've got to have these people in these high positions. There's no getting around it, unless we go into total chaos and anarchy, and everybody's fending for themselves. We don't want that, because then that's a mess. We've seen that in other countries, and it doesn't bode well for the citizens there. So there's got to be somebody in these positions. We know that. We'd be crazy to think otherwise. But it doesn't stop us from scrutinizing potential candidates. And even that's iffy, because they can be the most sugar-coated, sweet people, the way you want them to be and whatever, until they get in office, and then they'll turn on you. Because as they say, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when they get in those positions, goes straight to their heads, and they become these monsters that we don't even recognize, from the time when they were on the campaign trail. So I mean, it's a terrible thing. You look at this. Careful, Phil. You look at this thing that they got in there in the White House now. Oh, bastard. And there's been so much documented stuff, so many statistics, so many, whatever, papers or reports come out. I don't have to go into that. Anybody with two eyes in their head could see what this guy is all about. He is here for the destruction of America. He has torn it apart to the point where it's not even recognizable anymore. You can just look at the way he conducts his business. He doesn't do it in a way that's conducive to America's achievement. It's the destruction of America. And it's more than evident every day from what he's done in backing up people like Sharpton and Holter and all these people with this police brutality against black folks thing, all the way to this Cuba deal, which I think is total lunacy. How is that going to benefit us? What is it that they make down there, unless there's some sugar or something that they could be beneficial to giving us? Number one, the guy, Castro, who's relative, I think he's a brother of Fidel, he's already saying, hey, no matter how friendly you want to be with us, yada, yada, we're not changing our political stance, which is communism. They're not changing that for us or nobody else. They were communists when, they first started, and I guess they'll be communists when they end. Secondly, they're tied in very closely with communist countries like Russia, China, North Korea, all of which don't like the United States. So how in the world could this be a win-win, for us? I think they should have been left alone. And this little Pope fella, he's now sticking his nose in it. He supposedly was instrumental in bolstering the deal between Cuba and the U.S. and what have you. He needs to keep his little nose over there in his religious business and, stay out of trying to help us. He's over there in Rome, in Vatican City. He doesn't have to worry about what's going on in this country. See, that's what I'm telling you, folks. I get so damn sick and tired of these foreigners dictating policy for us. You got this foreign piece of crap, bastard in the White House. Then he's listening to this foreign Pope who doesn't lift a finger to do anything over here. He's comfortable over there counting all that money in Vatican City. What the hell does he have to do with who is a friend to the United States? You keep your damn nose in your own business, Pope. And now we've got this problem now, because how long is it going to be before all these communist countries get together with Cuba and, start their crap against the United States? So you got to keep an eye on that one. Then you got all kinds of crazy stuff going on with these Sony pictures, and all of that crap, which I'm kind of keeping a hawkish eye on that too, because I think it was a bunch of crap. Because anybody knows that in Hollywood, they'll do anything to keep a picture alive, even kill it. So, I'm kind of looking hawkishly at that too. But still, it sets a bad precedence because it disrupts life here in the United States. And the hurting thing about it, a lot of Americans have drank the Kool-Aid. They've drowned in it. They're sympathetic to these undocumented, foreigners. They're sympathetic to giving them driver's licenses. They're sympathetic because they're siding with old bastards. They should be given the amnesty. So if you think about marches and protests and all of this, you got to ask yourself the question, will it work? It worked back in the days of Martin King and Rosa Parks, because the nation of people were basically on one accord, or I might say two accords. There were the vast majority of people that wanted to have equality, and then there was a few of those that didn't want it. And obviously, to some degree, the amount that wanted equality kind of got it, because it's a skosh better now than it was during Martin King's time. And but it's a different mindset now. You know, number one, look at what old bastard has done. He's infiltrated this country with illegal foreigners to spread out the American resistance to what he wants to do. It's like when you're cooking. Have you ever cooked something that was really spicy or a little bit too rich, and you needed to put a little extra water, a little extra milk, or some chicken broth or beef broth in it to kind of, you know, thin it out a little bit so that it wouldn't be so intense? It's the same thing this bastard's done. He's brought in all these foreigners, and it's sort of, in one way, made things better for him, but for us, it's clogged up the system. The reason it made it better for him is because he got his butt back in there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made it. So, America is really, you know, it's crumbling in a way. Americana is gone. You know, you don't see things that you used to see. And for us, you know, that are kind of past the age of 40, you know what I'm talking about. You know, the good feelings that you got when you walk down the streets in your neighborhoods. Your neighbors, you knew them, they knew you, they were happy to see you. They would help you, they would lend a hand. I mean, even in yesteryear, way back there, when foreigners came in, immigrants, these people came in and they rolled up their sleeves and put on gloves and say, I'm here to help build America because I want this to be my America too. How can I contribute? But these today, they're coming in with their hand out saying, gimme. And boy, are they getting. They're getting more than anybody that I've ever known in American history. And they're still not satisfied. And then you're getting people in office that are there to what? Destroy America? Well, they're doing a damn good job. And I get so sick of hearing about, well, this is the guy who could take care of old bastard. This is the woman who has gotten so much information that she could, you know, I am sick of hearing what could happen to old bastard. I want to hear what has happened to him. I want to see his backside going out the White House door forever. Don't give me that crap about who could do this. The dog could have caught the rabbit if he hadn't stopped to defecate. We could have a better country if we didn't have people like old bastard in office and Boehner and all these other creeps. So I don't want to hear about what could happen. I want to see what has happened with them gone. And is it going to be better because he leaves? I doubt it. But at least we won't have to see his ugly face. Because it's out of control, people. I hate to be a pessimist, and usually I'm pretty optimistic. But I don't see any optimistic end here. We've got a national debt that's out of control, and we're never going to pay that off. How can we? We're too busy trying to take care of foreigners. We've got bridges that are collapsing. We've got buildings that are in decay. We've got neighborhoods that have gone bankrupt, cities. We're in trouble up to our short and curlies. And we expect these people who put us in that position to solve it? They can't, because they're too busy stumbling over themselves to know what the hell is going on and stuffing their pockets with as much of our cash as they can. Yeah, when this character does leave office, he's going to be a hell of a lot richer than it was when he took office, off our backs. And all of those that are in Congress, the Supreme Court, and all of these governmental mucky-muck places are filthy rich while we're here trying to scuffle and scratch for a piece of bread. And you look to these people for a solution, you pay homage to them, you think that they're doing a good job? Hell no, they're not doing a good job. Okay, gas prices have come down, but look at what they've done. They found a way to inkle it back up a little bit, if by not much more than 10 or 15 cents. And you believe they're not going to stop there. You give them a toe, they'll take a foot. You give them a foot, they'll take a damn leg. And they'll keep taking until you are non-existent. So what do we do? Well, that's a good question, folks, because we're kind of, as I said before, stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know they got to be put in office, but what can you do, or what can we do as a people to ensure that we can at least get somebody in there that might have an inkling of maybe trying to pick this country up off its ass and put it back on its feet? But that's a hard thing to do. So the only thing I can say, we got this idiot in there for 2 more years, and these up and coming people that are throwing their hat in the ring to run for president, they need to be scrutinized. And please, while I'm on that subject, I don't need any more Bushes in there. George Herbert Walker Bush, he didn't do such a great job. His son didn't do that good of a job. What the hell makes people think that old Jeb is going to do anything? That this guy was embroiled in scandal down there in Florida when his brother was trying to get to be president. They had to hold up the proceedings for, 2 or 3 months to recount the ballots to make sure that he wasn't trying to, chomp at the bit there for his brother. And these Clintons, oh my God. That dried up bastard Bill, he was embroiled in so much scandal, even from Jump Street, the Whitewater thing, and then the Monica Lewinsky thing, and then there's a couple other things. Now you want to put his dried up wife in there? The Benghazi thing, and still the Whitewater thing, and other things? We don't need these dried up bastards in there. My God, people, what are we thinking? At least put some new person in there that we don't know. Give him a shot at it. That's the problem with Washington now. You got too many dried up bastards in there who don't care. I mean, God, take the blinders off. Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder. Any blind person could see through this crap. Why must we continue letting them feed us a crap salad? Everything out of their mouths is garbage. So what we need to do is we need to do some research and homework, or whatever you wish to call it, and find out as much as we can about these people. Ask the tough question. Make the tough statement. As our grandmother used to say, you investigate before you invest your time, your money, your political aspiration, whatever. Investigate. Become proactive. Write letters. Try to find out if there's somebody in power already that is sympathetic to our needs. And write that person. Try to get in contact with that person. If they're in your city, your town, and they come back and they shuttle back and forth between whichever constituency stronghold in Washington. When they're in town, try to schedule a meeting with them. Sit down and talk to this person. There are community groups out there that feel that the country isn't right. Find out where these people are and join with them. We still have some power. Maybe it's limited, but there's some power we still have. But the biggest power we have is that to think intelligently, to make sure as much as we can, to the extent possible, that when you go in that voting booth and you cast your ballot, that in the best of your knowledge, in the best of your gut, they say follow your gut, that you have made the right choice. And just hold on and hold a good thought that this person will go in there and not become an idiot. But we're in a mess, and we're going to continue to be in a mess. It's out of control, and it's come our way. You think about it. Now the DMV, you can't even go and get your license or your car registered because you got to wait in long lines. And as they were saying on this news media that we have here, and I'm pretty sure, on that score they're probably, spot on. 2.5 million people are estimated to come through the California Department of Motor Vehicles to get their wonderful driver's license with their illegal asses. This is not a problem or a something that's going to go away in a couple of months. This is going to go on for a good year, maybe even more. You're going to see these lines because you look at some of these idiots They don't know how to read English. They don't know how to listen. Some of them just won't listen. There is a criteria by which you have to fulfill to get this license, but half of them will come stepping up there with not that criteria filled, clogging up the damn lines, and keeping people that are really there legitimately from conducting business. Okay, it's the DMV today. What is it tomorrow? They've already clogged up the schools. We're dancing by their music. I was a former educator. I worked within LA Unified School District. And I could tell you some horror stories there. They set our American-speaking English kids on the back burner so that they could pursue ESL for these illegal foreigners. English is a second language. You're in our damn country, you speak our damn language. Your language as a second. English should always be first. So they're clogging up our schools. They're clogging up our health facilities, our medical health care. They're coming in committing crimes, spraying graffiti and writing and scratching all over every damn thing. And who does that cost money? The American people, the American businesses that they go and screw up. So, I mean, we've given a lot to these bastards, and I'm sick and damn tired of those bastards in Washington and here in Sacramento and in your hometown, your home state, giving them carte blanche. So, yeah, we need to do a hell of a lot of investigating. It's not right. You think of what we used to have in this country. You could work and then pay your taxes, and if you were lucky, you could expect a nice income tax return. Not anymore, thanks to old bastard and his old bastard care. Because they're saying now that Americans are going to be in for a painful shock come in tax return time. Because those who are in old bastard care have got to pay their fees or whatever to be in it. And those that haven't have got to pay stiff fines for not being in old bastard care. How about that, eh? I think that's a pile of crap. A steaming pile of horse turds. So, as we go into this new year, let's go in with a heightened sense of investigation of these potential presidential candidates or any kind of candidate. Let's become proactive. Exercise the little bit of power that we still have. And at least if you go there with an informed mind, you will know that at least I had the power not to vote the bastard in. He may get in anyway, or she may get in. But at least I know I didn't vote for that bastard because I did my homework. I know that he or she is not good for this country. I don't know where it's going, folks. But I know, as I said before, we're getting there quick smart. And it saddens me, it really does, to see that our country, our once great nation, has fallen from sugar to that other stuff because of ineffective politicians, uncaring politicians, stupid politicians, politicians that aren't even American, like this piece of crap we got in the White House now. He's not an American, he's a Muslim. He doesn't believe in Christianity. He goes off, he golfs when the country's in peril, officers being killed, innocent, people being killed. Those may not be so innocent being killed, but I mean, as I said in one of my other shows, killing is the point. He goes off golfing, kicking up his leg, and destroying people's wedding plans. That's what he is all about. When a president comes to your town, he, or if we ever get a she, do not have to muck up the city. At least George Bush, pitiful a president as he was. I remember several times he came here to California. He would land at LAX. There would be a chopper there waiting for him, the big presidential chopper, and then he would chopper into the places he had to go. He didn't tie up all the traffic. But this sick bastard that we got in there now, oh bastard, every time he's come to California, double-digit times. And every one of those damn times he's come, he snarled up lifestyle for people. Businesses had to close because of his motorcade coming down the street. All this kind of crap. But he could have easily choppered in to these very places that he went to and gotten out of here because he wasn't bringing anything but his ugly turd face. He came here to get billions of dollars to put in his own damn pocket and for his pitiful Democratic Party. That's all he comes here for, is to be like a Hoover vacuum cleaner, sucking up everything financial. So once again, use your power to investigate. Look at these people for who they are. Don't fall for these little, cutesy speeches, or their little faces or what have you, because they all, to the greatest extent, are wolves in sheep's clothing. They're all nice and, I'm for the people. I want the country back together. I want to clean up what's in Washington. Yeah, right. They get their scroungy butts in there and they do the same identical thing that the last bastard did. Well, hopefully there will be somebody like that who will remain true to his code and true to his word. This guy ain't buying it until I actually see it. And for you out there who claim you got all this kind of stuff to get rid of old bastard, that you know the secrets, stop talking about it and be about it, as they say. Do something. I want to hear that you have gotten rid of old bastard. To see his ass walking out the door, that will, put much credence to what you've said. Then you have got the goods on him. I've been hearing this crap for the last 4 years. So get off, as my grandmother also said, either defecate or get off the pot and let somebody else use it. Hopefully we can get this thing rocking and rolling, folks, and have a better country, or at least one we're proud of. I'm hopeful for that. I'm, still kind of pessimistic, but I remain somewhat hopeful. And hopefully you will too. Hope you're having a great new year. May it be prosperous for you. And hope your families are all safe and healthy and having all the fun they want to have. To my supporters and well-wishers, thank you so much for everything in the past year. As we go into this new year, hopefully we can still remain together and have more good fun shows and all that kind of thing. If you'd like to become a supporter, there's a button there for you to do so. Circle me on Google. The Facebook thing, as I've alluded to so many times, I'm not too much into Facebook that much anymore, but if you'd like to become a friend there, always good to have a new friend. So to the extent possible, take care, stay safe, and try to be happy. This is Phil Taylor Jones saying, see you next time, right here on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Bye-bye.